Numbers. We use them all the time, right? We barely even think about it. But what if I told you that numbers aren't just for counting, that they're actually one of the most powerful inventions in all of human history? Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What's the most important tool you use every single day? I mean, really think about it. What's the one piece of tech you absolutely could not function without?
I bet your first thought is your phone, right? And yeah, that's fair. But the tool I'm thinking of is, well, it's way, way older. And honestly, it's way more fundamental to how our entire world works.
Believe it or not, it might just be the number 10. I know that sounds a little strange, but the simple idea of grouping things in tens, that's not just for math class. It's a piece of intellectual technology that literally helped build empires.
So that brings us to our first big idea, numbers as an invisible invention. We take our number system for granted, but for ancient societies, just figuring out a clear, logical way to write down and organize numbers, that was a massive achievement.
So let's decode the decimal system. What exactly made the system developed in ancient China so special? Well, it all boils down to this really elegant concept, decimal numeration. Basically, it's a system of counting that organizes everything into groups of 10. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, the whole shebang. It feels supernatural to us, probably because we've got 10 fingers. But here's the thing, it wasn't the only way to do it. It was a choice. And the logic is just so simple and beautiful. Look at this. Once you hit 10 ones, boom, you bundle them up and call it 110. Then you get 10 of those, and that becomes 100. It's the simple, repeatable pattern that's the secret sauce. It lets you handle massive numbers without your brain exploding. It brings order to the chaos.
And that brings us back to the fact that this was a choice, not a given. Check this out. Ancient Mesopotamia, they used a base 60 system. That's actually why we still have 60 seconds in a minute and 360 degrees in a circle today. So deciding to build everything around the number 10 was a huge deal. It was a specific choice that unlocked a whole new way of thinking, especially about really, really big things. And boy, did they need it.
Okay, so to really get why this was such a game changer, we have to talk about the challenge of counting. Let's put ourselves in their shoes. Imagine you're a ruler in the ancient world, and you're trying to run this massive, complicated society.
You've got these massive harvests coming in. How much grain do you actually have? You need to build something huge, like a canal. How many workers can you even get? And taxes. How much does everyone owe? These aren't just little problems, they are total logistical nightmares. Without a good way to count all this stuff, your society just hits a wall. You absolutely cannot run an empire on guesswork.
And right there, that's where the decimal system steps in. It stopped being just a way to count and became something much bigger, a tool to build a whole civilization.
So here's the decimal solution. It gave rulers direct answers to all those nagging problems. You see the chart here, right? Tracking tribute and taxes. Suddenly, you have clear, scalable records. Managing harvests, now you can do it efficiently. It was a clear, logical way to manage the absolute core functions of a state.
And think about organizing agriculture. For a big agricultural society, this was a lifesaver. Officials could now handle things on a massive scale. It didn't matter if it was a small harvest or a gigantic one. The same logical system worked for both. No sweat.
Then there's trade. This decimal way of thinking powered trade like never before. I mean, when everybody's counting the same way, using a clear, consistent system, it's just easier. You can compare things, you can exchange goods fairly. That kind of reliability is exactly what you need for a market to thrive.
And this is the real power move. It helped build the bureaucracy itself. Because think about it, a government that can't count, can't govern. It's as simple as that. So when you know exactly how many people you have, how much grain, how much tax money is coming in, that makes you a powerful government. The decimal system wasn't just helping out the administration, it was pretty much creating it from the ground up.
But the story doesn't end there. The legacy of 10 goes way beyond just taxes and trade. Adopting this base 10 system created these huge ripple effects that would end up shaping history for centuries.
For one, it became the foundation of mathematics. I mean, once you have a really solid, well-ordered way to write down numbers, you can start doing some pretty cool stuff with them. Addition, subtraction, all of it becomes way easier. This clarity is what paved the way for advanced mathematics.
And it also created what you could call durable knowledge. Think about it. A written number system takes something that's just a fleeting idea, a quantity, and makes it solid, permanent. A tax record from 10 years ago? Now you can pull it out, check it, and understand it perfectly.
It let the state manage itself over generations.
Our source for this explainer puts it perfectly, and I just love this quote. Numbers are part of the mental machinery of civilization. It just nails it, right? They're not just scribbles on a page. They're a core part of how a civilization actually thinks.
And really, that's the main takeaway here. We're talking about structure over spectacle. The decimal system, it wasn't some big, flashy invention like a pyramid. Its power was quiet. It was structural. It was this elegant, simple tool that helped people make sense of a really complex world. And that right there is a huge leap forward.
So it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are the other invisible ideas that shape our world today? The things we don't even notice, like the alphabet, or the calendar, or even computer code, that are quietly running everything in the background, just like the number 10.